Thank you for watching the most profitable show in crypto history. Stop everything that you're doing. Now it's crypto time. Welcome to the Crypto Villas Show.
Hello guys, welcome to Crypto Villa channel. I'm Crypto Villa speaking direct from Brazil in order to make you guys know the news in crypto. Well, first of all, I'd like to ask you guys subscribe to my channel. If you didn't yet, subscribe to my channel and don't forget to smash your like. This is my English for my channel for English speakers. Also, I have a channel for Portuguese speakers. Okay, so you can follow me there as well, and follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. Why? Because I drop the information first on Twitter and first on Instagram as well. Okay, and today is a very special day. I'm gonna to interview Dennis, the CEO from BaconDAO. So let's call him to the show. Hi, Dennis. Thanks so much for coming to my show. Welcome.
Hi, Villa. How are you? Nice to be here.
Good. Thanks so much for coming. So, Dennis, let's start the interview. I'd like to know what BaconDAO is about. Can you do just a small introduction, please?
Of course. So the tagline for us is we are a grassroots group of thinkers and investors helping each other learn and profit in crypto. And you might have seen a lot of groups with private sales where they give signals, talk about altcoin gems, technical analysis, but typically they're a very top-down fashion where there's a couple people that profit the most, and sometimes they give useful information, but a lot of times they don't really focus on education or teaching people how to invest or how to do their own research in individual altcoins, but instead they just show their favorite projects, and there's nothing wrong with that, but often they're just getting paid the most and not talking about the right kind of projects, not choosing what they talk about. So for us, we are, like I said, very grassroots. We function like a DAO, so it's not just myself or the team. It's actually every contributor. Right now we have about 20 that are paid on a casual basis based on what research they have. But any member can join and talk about whatever altcoins they find, and if other members think it's promising, they can then tip them or directly contact us, and they'll be receiving a part of the rewards. So that's a bit of one aspect of BaconDAO, but we can get into more.
Okay. I think you already talked a little, but I'm going to do this question anyway. Maybe you have anything else to say. You mentioned in the white paper the sour taste, right, of this kind of crypto paid groups. So I'd like that you tell us why BaconDAO will make this different.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been part of paid groups for years, honestly. When I first joined crypto back in 2017, there were all kinds of groups. Some just pump and dump, others will try to teach you stuff, but in the end you just go in and you don't really learn much. Others just give signals. But I think there are two main problems there. First off, when you have a group, even if you have really good information, you need feedback in order to know how you're doing. So for us, because we function as a DAO, if the content we're putting out is not good, then we don't get the allocations or our own Bacon token released that is paying partly to us and partly to our contributors that are coming in with information. So the DAO votes on our snapshot page, just like any DAO, on a periodic basis for what our weekly calls will cover. So maybe this week we cover more TA for Bitcoin, others we cover altcoins. Or if private sales are all of a sudden good, then the DAO will vote on, okay, can you try to get more private sales for us? Then we'll try and do that. Or like right now, NFTs are good. Maybe people are interested in NFTs, so they'll vote on that. So it's a very democratic process. And the second thing is, I think in order for any crypto group to be successful, not only the contributors and the top team members are the core team, but also you should try to incorporate the entire community to have ownership. So with the Bacon token, this really allows them to albeit small, own a piece of the BaconDAO and its content, because they already drive what kind of content is produced with their feedback. And now with the Bacon token, they also own potentially part of the upside potential if the community is good and more people join. So by owning the Bacon token, they can either stake it directly in our farm and get access to the Bacon group through an NFT that they mint, or they can just buy more Bacon token, and then as other people also will likely join if the community is good, then Bacon price will naturally go up. No expectations there, but it's just the mechanic is like that. So not only do we gain more members, just like other paid groups where they just increase the membership fee and they have a bunch of members, but the members don't really know what the growth is. Instead, in this case, everyone has a however intended amount of shares that they want in the group, but with the Bacon token.
Okay. And why does BaconDAO's format keep the contributors motivated to maintain the quality?
Sorry, you mean BaconDAO's format and how it makes... Okay, so right now we have our main content that started first was Discord, and we are rolling out our own BaconDAO hub. So those two are our main content places. So the Discord will be used as a discussion place, just as any other Discord. We're currently at 27,000 members already. So people come in. If you are a beginner or advanced user, doesn't matter. You come in first, you will start off as a consumer, obviously. You come in, you check out our TA, our altcoin research, our latest DeFi farms. We have a list of tracking that gets updated daily. And you go into the individual chats, like your NFT chat, BSC chat, other chains, Solana. We just opened a new one called for KuCoin, the KuCoin chain. We have a low caps chat for individual that really liking to ape into new projects. So you can find what suits you. And once you get familiar with it and you find that, okay, this is potentially useful. So you start interacting with people, and naturally you would come up with ideas just as any other more experienced members. So by that point, if you give quality research, our head contributors in that specific area, like NFTs, BSCs, etc., will start to recognize and bring it up to the rest of the team and other head contributors and say, this person gave really good advice or really good research on this project this week that nobody else saw, and we made profits together. Then we'll reach out to you or whoever that person is, just in the public chat, and say, okay, we want to tip you Bacon. And we have a tiered process for how that works. So depending on if you made an actual research article, very in-depth, or if you just gave a quick tip or you provided a tool, there's different reward tiers. And then on top of that, once you have that, you can even talk with the team and propose to be a long-term contributor if there is a fit for you in the specific area. So right now we don't have an on-chain place. So we have a couple people that are interested in doing that. So we're in the process of seeing what they can come up with and showing the first versions to the community and see if it's actually useful. So that's a bit of a process to onboard people to the Discord and the discussion side. And we also have the BaconDAO hub, and both of these are gated by the NFT, which we can talk about. But the BaconDAO hub is it's a spin-off from Discord. So we modified the Discord software for forums, where anyone can join, but you need the NFT in order to access most of the content. And once you're in the hub, you would talk in Discourse for just casual talking. But if you want to keep track of specific research that you put out, whether long or short, you need a place that's easily searchable and that lives on as like a content presentation instead of just in a chat. That's why we have the hub. So for example, one of our members, Dave Ether, he has been contributing in the DeFi section. So you've talked about convex finance, and another one is, I think, Ribbon. So these two both give really good results for stablecoin farms in the 20 to 35% range. So pretty industry leading.
That's good.
Yeah, so he made 2 research articles on those. Now, typically, if we only had Discord, he would just post a long text that gets eventually lost, and or another Google Doc, but it might get lost because it's just a link. But because we have this concentrated place, he goes on there, he posts it, and then he links it back to the Discord, and it's all being categorized as community research and DeFi content, etc. So now we can recognize who posted it. Other people can upvote it, make suggestions, and then it becomes very clear who's making what contributions, and the rewards being distributed are also much clearer. Yeah, and gating all of that is the NFT aspect, which we can also talk about.
Okay, and it is a DAO, right? So the members can vote on what they will receive. How will exactly this work?
So we have 2 kinds of voting, right? So typically for a DAO, you have the governance token, which is a ERC20. In our case, that's the Bacon token. So for our main DAO governance, it's the token with fixed supply. It's represents ownership not only for all the content, but also for mostly the treasury and protocol improvements. So if we want to change, if people propose that they want to change how the access is gated, or the amounts, or how we use the treasury to pay different people, or whatever initiatives we do with the treasury, that will be voted by Bacon token holders of the governance token, and that is done through snapshot.org, and actual interactions are carried out through a multi-sig, through Gnosis, and the Gnosis has a multitude of signers, including some from the team, some from the contributors, and some just from the community. And then on top of that, we have a more casual content governance process. So not all of the Bacon token holders will necessarily be in the group as content creators or receivers. Some of them might just be speculating. So that's why when we want to gauge the best content to serve to our community, we don't really want whoever has the most tokens vote on what we talk about, because that might drive just whales pumping their bags again. Instead, we have one person each as a single vote for our content governance. So like I mentioned earlier, in order to join the community, both the Discord and the hub, you need to either stake or buy on a monthly basis an NFT. So this NFT is one person, one NFT only, and it's non-transferable. So it represents your one membership access to everything. And with this structure, it doesn't matter if you have $1 million or $1,000 or $50. As long as you have that one NFT, you have one vote in the content governance process. So this way, it really is fair feedback, because for whatever project we talk about, it doesn't matter if a big whale wants us to talk about that specifically. If 10 other small members that are only paying like very small amounts,
democratic, right?
Yeah, very democratic. If you're just another member, as long as the more number of people wants this is the idea that gets executed, but only for content, right? So that's the 2 types of governance we have, and the content governance will be done on the hub directly. So because each NFT gates one member, and if you want to vote, you have one direct user account on there, and you would just click yes or no or the top choices.
Okay. And BaconDAO will be the first full stake NFT incubator with an NFT launchpad, right?
Right.
And I'd like to know how will it works and how it help the small retail investors and the Bacon holders.
Yeah, so for NFTs, you probably have seen the trends on Twitter nowadays. There's so many profile picture projects where it's a group of anonymous creators. They come in and they release some art, 10,000 limited editions, but it's just pictures. That's not, knocking down NFTs, but the current trend is very hype-like. what we think is really valuable for NFTs is use cases like ours, where you have NFTs that represent ownership. Because it is non-fungible, it really takes it really brings home the benefit of non-fungible tokens, right? So how our NFT Launchpad wants to work is we work with individual cases where initially we wanted to release the Bacon token as initial membership sale. So that's what we built out our first versions of our smart contracts for the Launchpad. So just like any Launchpad, you have a whitelist. You have our plan is you have to hold a Bacon token in order to enter the whitelist. And once in the whitelist, you have different pools, but instead of tokens, you have NFTs, but not just profile picture like NFTs. Our NFTs can represent vested tokens. That was the first use case we came up with. So a good example to think is like Genesis Shards is another project that I borrowed this idea from. They do it really well. So right now, if you're a private investor or in IDOs, etc., you have tokens locked up, vested. And typically those are done through SAFs, and you will get those tokens whenever they are unlocked. But oftentimes people will want to trade the tokens early on without diluting the supply. So that's the first use cases we really thought would be useful for NFT in a Launchpad use case is you get whitelisted in the BaconDAO NFT Launchpad. You see these new NFT launches. Some of them might actually have tokens planned since day one. You buy the NFTs, and the NFTs will represent, okay, at the public launch date, I can claim 20% of the tokens with that NFT. And then at month one, I can claim another 10%. Month two, I claim another 10%, etc. So this allows you to essentially cash out of your investment at any time without actually unlocking all of the tokens. So this creates kind of a secondary market where the project is happy because they don't get extra inflated tokens very early on. It still follows the vesting schedule, but the investors also have another way out in case they want to sell the tokens for cheaper earlier without hurting the project too much. So this is one of the use cases that we thought NFTs could actually be useful, but we're still exploring this. We do have the first versions of the smart contracts out. They have been audited. But yeah, the current NFT trend is just way too hype-like, and we don't want to release something that's just Launchpad for profile pictures, because that's not gonna benefit any of our members. So
it has to have a use case, right?
Exactly,
A real
yeah.
use case, not
Yeah.
just a picture. And just a message for my audience here. You guys can drop your question anytime here, okay? And I'm gonna ask them by the end of the stream, okay? If you are only a Portuguese speaker, no problem. You can drop your questions just like Samiji just did here, and I'm gonna to translate, okay, to them. Okay, so next question here. BaconDAO is designed for newcomers, veterans, or both of them?
Definitely both. So I think we mentioned this a little bit earlier. So if you come into BaconDAO and you're just a beginner, you have a very dedicated mindset to just learn the basics of, okay, I have a couple questions. How can I set up MetaMask? How do I withdraw from Binance? What is Bitcoin even? We have actually planned courses directly for that, because it's quite easy to onboard the general public into the first a basic understanding of crypto. So if that's what you want, right, you come into the BaconDAO Discord and the hub, you see the content, you ask your questions, and then you're good, right? You don't have to move on much further. And we actually have a dedicated Ask Anything channel where it's just specifically for us, the contributors, and any member to help beginners. So you can ask any question, like, I'm having trouble withdrawing from Coinbase. Whoever answers your question, they will get a little bit of a tip, the monthly issuance of Bacon, because that is still helpful. But if you, whether you move on to be a more advanced user, or you just already come in as a potential researcher and want to create content, you can directly skip that. So you come into the chat, you can already see that dedicated topic chats for NFTs, BSC, layer 2s, whatever TAs, whichever segment suits your boat. You go into there, you start introducing yourself, and naturally just create content. Anything you post will be recognized. And so there's a clear separation and clear categorization of newcomers versus more advanced users. And you will get different types of rewards, clearly, because newcomers might not be able to serve the entire community so well because we are pretty advanced. But yeah, it's definitely has a place for both.
Okay, so I'd like to join BaconDAO. I'd like to know what are the steps for this.
Awesome. So our website link is bacondao.com. Once you're on there, you have the Discord, you have the hub, and right after launch, you will see our farm on there. And we'll have an explainer video. But so the process to join is you first need to acquire the Bacon token, and then you enter it into our farm. So the farm has thresholds for how much you put into the farm. You will mint 3 tiers of NFTs. So the purple tier is the lowest, the gold tier, and the platinum tier. These will give you different types of access. The higher up you go, the more kind of dedicated one-on-one access you have with other contributors. And also privacy opportunities, NFT drops, airdrops, etc. And so you go into the farm, it tells you how many Bacon tokens you need to stake, and there's also a choice for Bacon liquidity pool tokens you need to stake in order to mint any of the 3 tiers of NFTs. Once you minted those, you go on the Discord. We used a bot called Collabland. It's pretty standard for Telegram and Discord communities. It checks out your NFT to see if you own that NFT. It gives you the right role in Discord. And same thing for Discourse. We have a hosted webpage that says join the BaconDAO hub. You go on there, type in your username on the hub, and it'll check on chain if you have that NFT and gives you the right row in the BaconDAO hub. And then you're in. And anytime that you unstake, for whatever reason you don't believe in the project anymore, or you just need the money back, you will unstake your Bacon token or Bacon liquidity pool token. The NFT gets automatically deducted because it's 1-to-1 anyways. It represents your stake. And naturally, the Discord row is the bot takes away the Discord row, and the hub takes away your hub row, and then you're good. So the whole process is very streamlined.
Okay, and is there already a way to get a Bacon token before launch? And what's the process after launch?
Right. So we did do a small airdrop for our existing community because we have had this Discord server since I think November of 2019, and that large membership you see is mostly very organic over the past almost 2 years. So we wanted to reward our earlier supporters that without even having this economic incentive before. So there was an airdrop there, and they will be receiving just a 1% total of the total supply. For I think we have like 600 holders there already. And we have a couple campaigns that are currently running. So one is we're trying to get a publication on Mirror XYZ. So it's a decentralized publishing platform. So in order to do that, we need people to vote for us, and voting is completely free. You just need to connect your Twitter account. And once you have voted for us, once we are able to get a publication, we will airdrop $5,000 worth of Bacon tokens to everyone that's voted, because it is free support for us, but it really means a lot. On top of that, we did do a small Discord sale, but that has been closed for a couple of weeks now. So we do plan to have our SHO very soon with DAO Maker. But the announcement for the specific date, it's still to come. We're actually finalizing that this week, as well as an exchange listing right after DAO Maker, with a centralized exchange thing on top of Uniswap, right? So that is also being finalized because it has to coordinate with DAO Maker. But look out for the announcements for both of those very soon. Aside from that, yeah, like after launch, we don't want it to be like you have to buy the token in order to access the community, right? Because there's the whole issuance is based on rewards. So you might come into the community and pay 1 month first, but then if you are always helping new members in the Ask Anything segment, or you're actually doing research and posting good content, whether that's TA, PSC, NFT, whatever, you will more than likely earn like your 2 months worth within the first month, because we're very generous with trying to get the tokens out to the community.
Sure, because the people are helping the community, right?
Exactly. So that's the main way that people will receive the tokens.
Okay. And about the team, I'd like to know a little more about the team. How many people are working on BaconDAO? Can you talk a little?
Yeah, currently there's 6 people. So myself, I was kind of the main, I would say, talking head and the main person, the brand behind this BaconDAO, because I come from influencer background, just like you. I go by Virtual Bacon. I also come from a dev background. I've done dApps and protocol development. So I'm kind of leading branding and the dev side, so the technology side, and the overall strategy, like getting the right connections, etc. And then we have our operations lead. His name is kind of BD, managing the whole ins and outs of the operations on the Discord and on the hub, and getting the right people, connecting to DAO Maker, connecting to exchanges, connecting to KOLs. And then we have our another person called Joe. He is our marketing lead. So everything that you see on social media, that's getting posted by him. And Vila, you have been talking with him directly. And then we have Josue. He is an experienced movie director and designer. So he's taken over our content design, graphic design, website design. He's just extremely efficient. We can ping him at any time. He comes up with a design in like 2 minutes. And then we have our community lead, a very empathetic individual, Weatherboy. He is leading our Telegram, Discord, and Hub, making sure all the mods are not stepping out of the line, but also we don't have any spams. And because of our DAO design, we don't actually want people to just show their stuff for other reasons, right? For their own reasons, other than like actually sharing potentially useful stuff. So he's doing a really good job there. And then we have Wonka. He's our in-house TA analyst. So all the TA goes through him. So you can't just show your charts, and then if it doesn't make sense, he'll make sure to filter things out. And he'll and whenever we have requests to look at projects, he's the guy to go to.
Okay. And are there any partnerships that you can disclose for us?
Right. So we have 2 partnerships planned to be announced shortly after launch. These aren't those kind of partnered, just partnership just for partnerships, because we are using them. Because first off, we are going to be also trading on PancakeSwap, so we need a bridge partner. So we have a partnership there with a major player. And then we do need a Oracle in order for our later steps of our NFT release, because we do plan to have this collectible series that tie into the NFT memberships that you mint and burn from the BaconDAO farm. But we need a fair way to choose when to take the snapshot and how to automate the process. And also later on, when we do more airdrops and privacy allocations, etc., we don't want it to just use a Google form and just take a random number. Instead, we want it to tie into the smart contract. So we need an Oracle there, and we have a potential partnership lined up there. Aside from that, we do already have a couple announced already. We have a partnership with a dev firm called Fintelix. I have worked with them previously here in Canada. So this is for later on the NFT incubator side of things. If it's an NFT project coming in with an actual use case, we can connect them to the dev firm. We also have, of course, not DuckDAO, DAO Maker, right? We have another project called Uniquely that we have been working with for a few months. They do NFT-backed merge release, and we have been exploring. We announced the partnership, and we've been exploring how we can allow our members to stake the Bacon token and get some exclusive, like real life merch drops that are actually delivered to them. I think that would be very interesting because we have a very strong brand, and some of our core supporters wanted us to release merch for a long time. So I think that's a fun way to do it. There are definitely some that skips my mind, but we're constantly exploring new partnerships.
Okay. And I'd like to tell a little bit about the token economics and listing. So let's go to the first question. What are the main use cases of the Bacon token?
Right. So there is so the Bacon is a BaconDAO, right? So like we previously discussed, it's the governance token to decide on what to do with the treasury. Whenever there's a treasury allocation for investing in different proposals. For example, right now we have an Axie Infinity scholarships program. So that process is voted through by the Bacon token holders. So that's the first step is governance. Second is to access all of our content, our mentorship program, our private sales, NFT drops, and just in order to join the community and to make content to earn more rewards. That process is gated by the Bacon token. So you need to have the token, whether it's you want to pay monthly or you stake it in the farm and get access for as long as you have staked. Both of those will require Bacon tokens. That's about the main two ways that you can use the Bacon token right now. We do have the merch that's planned for you to stake Bacon token and get merch. Yeah, so most of it is the membership, right? So it's a very clear kind of, so you see what we offer in the membership, you see how much it is, and then yeah, you get the Bacon token.
I'd like to have this merchant. Please do it. This stake in order to earn this merchant. I would love this as a BaconDAO t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. We want it to be like an exclusive drop too. That looks good.
Okay. And what will be the initial market cap and the hard cap?
So the initial market cap is around 700,000, just under 700,000. Okay. And the total market cap at the listing price is 8 million.
Okay, but so the total raise it?
The total raise is 920,000.
Okay.
USD.
Okay. And how about the tokens held by the team members? Are they locked up? If so, for how long?
Yes. So the team tokens are locked up for 1 year, and then vested for another year after that. Yeah. So there's a total of 10% that's for the team, and there's 6 team members.
Okay. And you already talked, right? But just for new people that didn't hear yet, how about the IDO, when and where?
Yeah, so we tentatively for sure in August, date to be announced in probably this week, and our launch partner is DAO Maker.
Okay.
And we do have another exchange listing planned right after, but you need to look out for the announcement. But yeah, DAO Maker is our partner there.
Okay, by exchange list, you mean a centralized one, right?
Yes, a centralized one, yes.
Okay, you can't disclose that.
Not yet, but the announcements will come very soon.
Okay, okay. And do you have any KPIs or goals that you can share with us? I don't know, holders, users.
Yeah, so I think it's quite clear because we're a DAO and our token, the main utility, comes from gaining new members. So overall, the response to our the DAO initiative with the Bacon token has been really positive because we announced this kind of in late January, beginning of February. Just kind of we're exploring this project of this year. And before we announced it, we had about 4,000 members in the Discord. But for the past 7 months, that number has just consistently grown very like day after day to now 27,000. And this wasn't like for whitelist purposes or to invest in a project because our Telegram, the speculators, didn't really come until we really started pushing the marketing. But it was a lot of people that were interested to actually join the community. So that's the first metric. And the second is we did have a subscriber-based newsletter that was paid on a very similar price level as the membership early on, but it was just for my provided by myself. I provided a weekly newsletter of basically condensed of representing like all the research topics we have right now. So before it was just myself, the one contributor. Now there's almost 20 that are contributing in all different areas, and everyone else can contribute. And when we had the Discord membership as total around 4,000, the previous program had around 300 people that were signed up. So you can think of these as like, I'm for sure that these people will want to become BaconDAO members because it's literally the same price, but you're getting same as before, but much more. And it's now you have this democratic process we just described. But now our Discord group has also grown by 7 times, right? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, 7 times. So expecting, hopefully, more than 1,000, aiming for 2,000 members within the first month and a half. So we'll see. Yeah, it really depends on the market, but we'll see if those numbers can actually pick up.
okay, okay. So I'm gonna to roll out a small video here, and you guys, you can smash or like, please end the right after the video. I'm gonna to ask the questions to Dennis. Okay, that you guys just dropped here. So I'll be back in 20 seconds.
Like this video, subscribe to CryptoVilla's channel, and click on the bell button in order to turn on your notifications. Also, don't forget to follow him on Twitter. That's the only way to get notified earlier so you can take advantage of this. Information is power. Early information is profit.
So I will translate to you, Dennis. Don't worry. Sammy J is asking here. There will be some kind of tiers in order to have access to the reports or more informations, and how many tokens will be needed to these tiers?
Yes. So we have a very much like a subscription basis, right? So you can either pay $40 worth of Bacon tokens or just stable coins per month, or you can stake $500 of Bacon tokens or Bacon liquidity pool tokens in the farm. And I think this is the most likely the way people will want to do. So the first tier is 500. I believe the second tier is 2,000, and the third is 5,000. But most of the access is in the first tier. The second and third are just if you want higher allocations, or if you want kind of one-on-one specific mentorship with one of the contributors. But yeah, $500 staked is the minimum to access most of the content. And so because we integrate the liquidity pool farm with it, This is why I say this is the better way to do it, because you stake $500, you mint the NFT, which grants you access to all of the content, and you get the farm yield on it, right? So $500 earning yield in the 100% plus APY range, just like most other projects. And then you have the access anytime you want to extract your stake. You remove it, you stop earning yield. You don't have access anymore, but you get your capital back. So I would imagine that's the main way people will want to stake, and it's $500 to begin.
Okay, and I have one more question. I have one more questions about the name. I'd like to know where the bacon, the name it comes from, because it's an amazing name. Everyone loves bacon, right?
Yeah, so it's a funny story. So it kind of came from way back from my own personal brand, the Virtual Bacon, right? And that name came from mainly the virtual side, because I used to be super into virtual reality and augmented reality. So I used to have a channel and an online personality for that, for VR. And most people in the VR space, they call themselves virtual something. So I was trying to come up with, okay, what is virtual but is really catchy and is gonna be easy to brand around, to have this character around, and it's just a little bit silly but also catchy sounding and not too long. And I came up with bacon. Like, you have this virtual bacon, and it's just kind of carried on since, and it somewhat fits in the crypto sense as well. So I just kept using that name. And now we have we continue on with the bacon name, so that's why we have the BaconDAO. And
it's so easy, and everyone will remember easily, right? Oh, it's
yeah,
bacon,
it's
bacon.
bring home the bacon, right?
Yeah, so easy. And Dennis, do you have any final thoughts that I'd like to share? I don't know, ask you to go to the Telegram, Twitter.
Of course, yeah. So our Telegram is t.me/BaconDAO. Website bacondao.com. But our main place, I recommend you to join if you want to see the actual content and the membership. Right now, everything's public because we don't have the Bacon token yet. So you want to get an early preview. The Discord is discord.gg/bacon. Yeah, we're really proud of getting that subdomain. Yeah, that's about it. Check out our Twitter as well. But all the information that we just presented is on our Twitter and our website. And again, if you want to see the membership, join our Discord.
Thank you so much, Dennis, for coming to my show. Big pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Vila. Nice to be here as well. It's been a pleasure.
You. And bye.
Bye-bye.
So guys, thank you so much for watching this nice interview. And tomorrow, 2 p.m. UTC, I will be back here for more news about the crypto market as a whole and many altcoins updates. Okay, so see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. UTC. Okay, and some nice on-chain analysis as well. Bye.